Welcome to Games World. Tonight is review night, so please enter the House of Games.
Hello, and good to see you once again at our House of Games, the guide to the best buys in the gaming market.
I'll be checking out the Videotron, the latest in video technology. And there's good news for all you Mortal Kombat freaks out there too, as the arcade machine has been converted to console. So we'll be taking a detailed look at how it was done.
To start the show off with a bang, let's get straight on with the first review. And it's Cybernator on the SNES. Plugging yourself into a heavily armoured, missile-dripping exoskeleton and destroying space stations by the handful won't cost you many grey cells. You must, though, keep on destroying, maiming, killing and mutilating, otherwise it could well cost you your life. Set over 7 increasingly tough levels, your first task is to master the complex controls of your futuristic assault suit. Learn to lock your firepower, run and jump, and then take the battle to the alien hordes hovering in outer space.
Cybernator on a Super NES isn't your usual run-of-the-mill sort of shoot-'em-up. You control a big Japanese robot bloke who's rock hard, and on his own as well. You have to infiltrate enemy areas, and there's lots of shooting, and you have to use your shield lots and run around and pick up pods for extra energy. But it's a bit sort of over-complex and for no real reason. You have lots of buttons that do all sorts of different things. And I managed to get through a level by just hitting fire, really.
Well, I thought Cybernator was a very good game. It drew me in very well. It was very easy to use. I'm not a regular computer games freak, but even I enjoyed it. I thought the graphics were excellent, and the sound was pretty good. And for anybody who's desperate to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's a definite must.
This music in Cybernator is absolutely terrible. It's all sort of da-da-da-da-da, Japanese kind of stuff that you get in Zelda 3 or something like that, and it really doesn't suit the game. Luckily enough, the volume level is below the level of the sound effects, which are excellent, and it's very playable and great fun.
I'll give it a 7.
I'd score it 8 out of 10, mainly because I love the idea of being indestructible.
Cybernator I loved, and I'd give it 9 out of 10.
Rating a 7, an 8 and a 9, shooters don't come much more slicker than this. This one's going to game heaven. The violent theme is sure to continue with Jane's next feature.
All arcade fans will know and love Mortal Kombat, the awesome beat-em-up that makes Street Fighter 2 look like a Girl Guides picnic. The game, being made for the SNES, Mega Drive, Master System, Game Boy and Game Gear, won't be out until August, but House of Games had an exclusive peek at the game in development.
I've been developing Mortal Kombat for Acclaim for the last 9 months. When we first got the machine, it was the most incredible task because it just wasn't designed to go down to the small console machines like the Sega Genesis, Master System, Game Gear, etc. Rather than actually hand-drawing all these sprites and these graphics from the arcade machine, we decided to get the original graphics from Williams and using our own utilities that one of our producers, Gary Liddon, wrote, cut and pasted the graphics down into a format so we could literally dump them into the console.
These are the original graphics. They're pretty large in size and they take 64 colours, which is too much for any of the systems that we're going to convert onto. But by running through special programs, we managed to actually produce these graphics here. Now, the Genesis has only got 16 colours, whereas the original graphics were in 64 colours. And also, the Genesis can't have sprites the same size as the original arcade, they have to be smaller. So this is what they look like once they've been converted down to 16 colours in the correct size for the Genesis. The Game Gear is even worse, it's only got 12 colours. And the Game Boy is the worst of all, it's only got 4 colours. And they're all grey as well, so they look sort of pretty bad on the screen. But once they're up and running on the Game Boy, they look really, really good.
Well, it's fine once you've got the graphics out, but how do you get them actually working so quickly? And that was really down to very clever programming techniques. We've got some very good compression, we've got some very fast sprite utilities and some sprite programs within the actual game, and it's really down to 10 years worth of programming experience by all our programmers. The end result is what you see there now. Mortal Kombat is pretty stunning as far as I'm concerned. I think we've done a very good job on it. The programmers certainly need to be congratulated, and I think that will do very well this Christmas.
Back to the world of make-believe now with one of my old television favourites. Hello, Fred. Flintstones on the Mega Drive. With all of the characters taken straight out of the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons, you get the chance to play Fred as he tries to cope with a series of prehistoric family disasters. Wilma's gone and lost her jewellery, and your kid Pebbles has decided to go walk about in the desert. You're on your own here, without even your trusty pal Barney Rubble to help you find out who's behind the disappearance of your belongings. On some of the levels, it's simply a matter of running and clubbing, doing away with all manner of prehistoric baddies to recover your valuables. On other levels, you've got to swim through piranha-infested pools and drive till you drop along lethal desert roads.
I thought Flintstones was good. I liked the opening sequence with the dialogue between Fred and Wilma, although it would be nice to have had that in sound as well. The graphics were very good and it's easy to use. It's a very sort of bog-standard game. Go along the course, gather as many points as you can and hit a few people on the way. But quite a lot of fun, and I didn't get bored of it.
There's not really that much to it, and it's very weird, the difficulty levels. Sometimes it's really easy for a whole level, and then all of a sudden there's an impossible bit which will take you hours and hours to get past. The graphics are okay, nothing too amazing. They're a bit flickery at times, which is strange for the Mega Drive. The sound, though, is great, especially the music. It's really fun.
It's a standard run-along, jump across platforms, hit things with your club sort of a game. The one nice little twist is that when Fred jumps to climb onto a shed or a ledge or a cliff or something, he just about manages to get on with his fingernails, and then he can sort of scramble up the edge, which is quite good. Unfortunately, just like the NES version and just like the Game Boy version, it's a bit short, and it's a bit easy as well. Stick it on easy mode, and I think you'll see this off in a couple of days, if not a day. You'll have a Yabba Dabba 2 time? I don't think so.
I'd score Flintstones 7 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
Flintstones on the Mega Drive gets a 5.
Flintstones on the Mega Drive. Well, I'm sorry, Fred, you're just too easy. Battletoads was too tough. The Flintstones, you'll finish it too quickly. Now it's time to review another new release on the Game Boy. And it's Zen. Zen Intergalactic Ninja, sole survival of a superior race and master of martial arts, has got his work cut out in this Game Boy blaster. Lord Contaminus is polluting Earth with gallons of revolting rubbish. You, as zany Zen, must stop him. It's set over 4 levels of environmental disaster, like the rancid county dump, acid forest and Slickson oil tanker. You must rescue birds from oil spills, shoot debris from the sky, and generally clear the world of toxic waste. Use your photon stick wisely to zap Contaminus's cronies, clear up on the levels and the sub-games. Then it's off to meet the lunatic in the final battle for the Earth's personal hygiene.
The main sprite's nice and big, and the music's all sort of strident and moving and powerful. Well, as far as you get on the Game Boy anyway. But other than that, there's not really very much to it. You sort of walk along, hit things, walk along a bit more, hit things, jump a gap.
You walk along, you have a big stick, and you can hit people, and you can jump across gaps and hit people in midair, and land again and hit them again. And that's it, really. If you have either of the Turtles games, I think you should give this a wide berth. However, if you don't have either Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles 1 or 2, then you could have a look at this.
I didn't think Zen worked really well as a game. It's not really suitable for the Game Boy because the graphics were just flickering all over the place. It was trying to be too fast, and I don't think it's got quite the right controls on the console to make the game work. I got bored by it quite quickly.
I'll give it 6 out of 10. It's fun for a while, but not much longer.
5.
I'd give it 5 out of 10.
Nice to see an environmentally friendly game, but it's not a scratch on Echo.
Tomorrow night, Games World's live Wednesday night show, Try Your Luck, is going to make British TV history by bringing the very latest interactive television technology to cable viewers around the country. It's called Videotron, and here's Andrew Curry and the team from Try Your Luck with all the know-how.
Videotron is one of the largest cable companies in the UK. What makes it different from the other companies is it has a cable converter which is unique in that it allows interactive television and also some video games to be played through it. The technology is very simple. Through the converter box, which just sits on the top of the television set, it's about the same size as a video recorder, slightly smaller in fact, and the handset, which is just an ordinary television handset but with an additional set of buttons which allow the viewer to interact.
Well, make sure that you push the button. You did.
It allows you either to choose between 4 4 channels while something's going out, a sports program or a concert. Or it allows you to respond to questions which are being put to you by the television set. So an icon will come up on the screen, which is the moment where you can decide whether you're going to answer A, B or C to a question. And in very sophisticated uses of it, it allows you to keep a score as well, your own personal score.
Now we've got a qualifier to play here, and our winner is, in our qualifier, hello?
What's going to happen on Try Your Luck is that when Mick Brown asks the contestants the qualifying questions, which will be multiple choice questions, the viewers at home who have the interactive facility will be able to answer the questions when an icon appears on their screen, just by using the coloured interactive buttons on their handset.
As director of Try Your Luck, I decided to use Videotron because it made the programme even more interactive. You could find yourself lucky a bit later on, all right?
The rest of them might be dafter than me, you never know.
You never know. For the viewer at home, it won't really make much difference to the programme that they see. Basically, we make a few small alterations for Mick Brown, give him a little bit more time to introduce things, which allows Videotron to actually technically get involved. And we've decided to make the qualifiers now a multiple choice.
Believe it or not, using this same interactive box and the same interactive handset, you're also able to play video games through the VideoWay system. There's actually quite a large number of games, and they range from things like tennis to chess and things like that. You're going to be able to do a whole range of things without ever leaving your house, whether there's checking a bank statement, ordering up shopping, or just having a good time with a computer game. The sorts of numbers we're looking at, probably by the end of the decade, 3 million households in the UK, that's about 8 or 9 million people, would have access to this sort of system.
If you want to see the wonders of Videotron, tune in to Try Your Luck tomorrow night on Sky 1, 6 p.m. And now it's time for this week's quiz. Take a look at this clip from Joe and Mac and see if you can work out what grisly fate is just around the corner. As always, the answers after the break. Welcome back. Did you work out what happened next? Well, if you go around picking on baby dinosaurs, sooner or later their mothers are bound to come calling. Moving on now, though, to the database, our weekly roundup of the latest computer and video game news, lovingly compiled especially for you.
We start this week with Alien 3, a new release on the Super Nintendo. Rescue the hostages and blast those aliens in this extremely impressive platform shoot-'em-up. Watch House of Games next week for a comprehensive review of the game. Comic lovers out there will be keen to get their hands on this little number, the brand new Street Fighter 2 comic, featuring the animated adventures of all your favourite Street Fighter stars. It should be in your local import shop very soon. The game that we reviewed a couple of weeks ago, Lethal Weapon, is now out on the Game Boy. We'll leave it up to you to decide what you think of it. If you saw our report on the European Computer Trade Show and thought that that was impressive, you ain't seen nothing yet. This weekend in Chicago sees the Summer Computer and Electronics Show, the world's biggest and best computer show. Keep watching House of Games for an incredible report on the Summer CES later in the series. Time once again now for the database exclusive High Five chart.
At number 5 is last week's number 2, PGA Tour Golf 2, the Mega Drive Classic. Mickey Mouse's Land of Illusion finally finds its way onto the Master System and into the number 4 slot in this week's chart. Number 3 is last week's number 1, Super Parodius on the Super Nintendo. You'll have seen us review Summer Challenge on the Mega Drive a couple of weeks back, and now in its first week of release, this multi-sport sim finds itself at number 2. And at number 1, what else? It has to be Star Wing.